everybody, Matt Reeb here with Concordia University in Chicago, and I'm here today to give you a plyometric workout. Now my plyometric workout is going to be based for a lacrosse player. And with the lacrosse, we're going to have movements such as first step explosion, sprint speed, acceleration, and quick change of direction. Now those movements are going to be based within the sport of lacrosse, and we're going to try and work on those movements, and specifically the stretch shortening cycle of those movements. Now, the three phases I'm going to go over, I'm going to give you a workout for each phase, is the stabilization and endurance phase. And in that phase, we're going to work on the athletes recruiting the proper motor units, gaining neuromuscular coordination, and also during this time it's going to allow me to assess alignment and posture of my athlete. With that stage, we're going to work on landing each movement and holding for 3 to 5 seconds to make sure we're in proper alignment, to make sure we have good posture and we're landing correctly and softly. The next stage is going to be a strength stage. That's going to work to improve joint stabilization, eccentric strength, and rate of force production. And then finally, the power phase is going to work to also increase rate of force production and also gain reactive strength. So first we'll get started with the stabilization endurance phase. The first one I'm going to do is going to be 3 sets of 8 for broad jumps. Broad jumps are going to be 2-footed jumps, working on jumping out as far distance-wise as we can. Again, holding each time 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, again, we want to land softly, and then also we want to be able to hold and make sure our knees are aligned over our toes. We don't want to have valgus knee movement inward of our knee. We want to make sure they're aligned with our toes. The next one is going to be lateral jumps. These are going to just be side-to-side jumps. Okay, same sort of thing. So we want to gain distance sideways, but then also make sure we have proper knee and toe alignment. Good. Holding again each 3 to 5 seconds. With the lateral jumps will be 3 sets of 8 as well. And then the transverse box jumps. This will also be 3 sets of 8. Now what you're going to do with this is we're going to work in the transverse plane. You're going to start not facing the box, and you're going to jump and twist in the air onto the box. And again, we want to maintain good alignment, good posture. Just like that. Alright, and that is workout 1 in the stabilization endurance phase. Now moving on to the strength phase. The first exercise in the strength phase is lunge jumps. This is 3 sets of 10. Okay, it's just going to be as it sounds. We're going to lunge, jump in the air, and switch our feet. Now with this stage, we're going to start to pick up the speed that we do the exercise. We're going to be more explosive, okay, and then also we're going to be quicker with transitioning between our exercises. Really working on the stretch shortening cycle. We're going to lunge, twitch, like so. Then moving on to lateral box shuffles. This is going to be specific to changing directions quickly from side to side. We have a box here. Start with 1 foot on the box. You're going to jump over the box and switch your feet on the box. This is going to be very rapid, explosive movement. So we're here. Like so. And then finally, the strength. Last strength in the endurance workout will be the bounding. Okay, bounding will be basically running, but jumping off of the foot within each stride. Okay, so I'll do it behind here. The key with bounding is we want to stride out and leap off of each foot each time we land and make contact, almost like we're jumping and leaping from each foot to the next. 3 sets of 12 of that, and that will complete one of our strength endurance phases, workouts. Moving on to the power phase, okay? One workout we have is 2-footed bounding, so just like before with the 1-footed bounding, we now have 2-footed bounding, okay? And with that, that's going to be the same thing, but the same explosive movement, except for we're just doing 2 feet at a time as opposed to 1 foot at a time. Slightly different than broad jumps as well. We want to be more explosive in between and take less time to land. That's 2-footed bounding. 3 sets of 12 of that, and then we'll move on to lateral line hops to sprint. Okay, so if anything we already have a line, we're just going to hop back and forth between the line, okay, and then sprint beyond that. We'll start with 8 hops, okay, and then a sprint. Good. Again, that was lateral line hops to sprint. And then finally, we're going to do a depth jump to bounding. Okay, so I'll use this box again. And just like before we did bounding, we're going back to 1-footed bounding, but we're going to drop off the box and then bound for 8 steps. Okay, so we're going to bound for 8 steps. We need 1 drop and then 8 steps of bounding following. And again, that was depth jumps to bounding. Okay, and that completes our power phase. Now, as you can see, the phases look a little bit different. In the beginning, we're really working on holding and making sure we have good alignment before we can progress on. We want to spend about 4 weeks within the stabilization endurance phase. Before moving on to the strength phase, it's been about 4 weeks in there, again, before increasing on again to the power phase. Now, with each of those phases, okay, again, we're working on recruiting proper motor units, neuromuscular coordination, and assessing their alignment within the first. The second, we're working to improve joint stabilization, eccentric strength, and then the third, we're working to increase rate of force production and reactive strength. Now, those are some good plyometric training workouts that you can do for a lacrosse player. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Reed.